Hey, my friends. Welcome to another video. I hope you guys are well and enjoying wherever you are on this planet. You are happy and just living life. So it's a bright and beautiful day today, but it's cold and rainy and wet and slippery outside. I don't know when it's gonna be like spring. Spring, please come. Guys, welcome to another video. I'm so happy that you guys are here today watching this video. But today we're gonna have a hot topic. Yes, guys, we're gonna be talking about a hot topic. We're gonna be talking about deportation today. We're gonna talk about what is happening in the news. I'm a person who like to follow the news, not just the news, but read a lot of articles and delve deeper into things before I tend to talk and say stuff, because I like to get my facts straight before I start to talk and start to give my views. Because if you just watch something and you start to talk about it, it could be propaganda and you could be spreading just some untruths, right? So we don't want to do that. But anyways, let's talk about deportation today, and let's talk about the impact that it has on Black people. And let's just chat, because I think these are things that we should talk about, because it is relating to us, and it's relating to a lot of things, and we need to have open dialogues, open conversations about stuff. So on today's topic, I want to tell like you Black folks, those Mexicans, tribe of Gad, all the different people that is being deported back to your country, like, stop crying. Why are you crying? That's the first thing I want to know. Like, stop crying, because deportation is to your advantage. It's not a disadvantage. People think like, oh, I come to this country and I open a shop, I did this, I did that, and now they are deporting me. No, I am sympathetic to people who come and they have their nice shops, and they have, they build a life, and then they're deported, right? But sometimes when we see things on the news, we can't just take it and run, because not everything that we see on the news, it's true. So I just want to bring some light to you all about certain stuff, because I have most of my family live in the United States, and I know a lot of how the law works there, okay? And we have houses, we have different things for my family members. They have things there. They have businesses, they have many different things there. But for you to get businesses and for you to do certain things, you have to, it has to be legal. It cannot be illegal. So some people you hear on the news, they're saying they're they're sending back people who have businesses and this and that and the other. This is not really true in a sense, because if you have a business, you have to go through different hoops, you have to go to different things to open a business, and it's not very easy to open a business, except if you're just selling some food on the sidewalk, you just like a peddler selling things on the sidewalk, okay? That's a different thing. But if you have a full-fledged business, you need to go through the government system there in the US for you to have this full-fledged business occurring. So don't take everything that you see on the news and just run with it and get angry, because this is not how stuff works. If you buy a building there, you need to be a legal person to buy a building. You have a house there, you need to be legal to buy stuff. You open a restaurant in a place and you're selling stuff, people come into your restaurant, you're renting a building, you need to have some kind of status. You just cannot do stuff like that. They have inspectors who comes and check your place and all that kind of stuff. So not to believe everything that you see on the news. Now, some of the things that you see on the news, maybe some people, I know that there are people out there who just, they make a little stand and they go and they sell it on the street, and they sell things on the street. Yeah. But sometimes the police crack down and they take their stuff from them. I know that. Okay. Because my family is there. I know what's happening there. My family is legal there. But anyways, that's not the point here. The point is, don't take everything that you see on the news. So if somebody is there and they're doing something illegal, and then they send them back to their country, we shouldn't be mad about it. But if people are there and they're not illegal, and then they send them back to their country. Well, it's pretty sad and I can understand. But what I want to explain to you people is like, I'm living in Canada. And if you come to Canada, you have to have legal status to work here. Your children have to have legal status to be able to go to school. Except if you're going to homeschool them. Your child cannot go to school. If you go to the US, you don't need legal status to go to school, right? And a lot of people do not know stuff. They're just watching things on the news and believe it. But I'm telling you from straight hand, because my family's there. I've been to the US. I can't even count how many times I've been there to the US because my family is there. So it's just like, it's a different system to the Canadian system. And a lot of things people do not know, but they just talk because that's what the news say, and the news is always not forthcoming. So when you see people are being deported, it's because they don't have legal status. And to have legal status in a country mean that you are a resident of the country. That means in Canada, we have your PR card, your permanent residency card, or you're a citizen of the country, or you have a work permit, right? And it's the same thing for the US. But the US is a different country where you can kind of come in and you can be under the radar for a longer period of time compared to Canada. If you come to Canada, you cannot be under the radar for a long time because people are not going to hire you. It's just not the system here, unless you're working in somebody's house cleaning or you're babysitting for somebody or something like that. But to get some good job working like in a nursing home or doing all this kind of works like working in the hospital, no, you can't get a job like that. I know family members, I know friends who, when they just came to the US before they get this stuff, they were working like nursing homes, they were working in hotels. I was shocked. I was like, how come you working in those places? And we can't do that here in Canada. So before people like talk, they need to know the legal system of the place. And you're not going to know about stuff if you're not part of a system. My family is part of the system, so we know how things work. My family are citizens of USA. Some of them are have the PR card, and they've been there for years. So it's a system. You have to be part of the system to know what the system is about. So I just wanted to explain that for things for you guys. The second thing about deportation that I want to explain to you guys about is, like, listen, Black people, stop groaning and moaning and complaining about the USA. First of all, living in the US, life is tough. It is not easy. Do you know how much for rent in the US? It's so expensive. One of my family member has a building that they rent out. And I went there to spend a week, and I was told to collect the rent because they were going away. So I went to stay there to check to make sure everything were good. It was during the summer, and I went to stay there. And I was supposed to collect the rent and to make sure everything is okay in the building and stuff like that. And anyways, when the tenants came to give me the rent, the lady, she said, oh, can you count it all? No, the family member didn't tell me how much the rent was. He just told me to collect the rent, okay? So she said, can you count it to make sure it's there and I give you the right amount and then take it off? So I said, okay, fine. So I'm counting because, you know, and in the end, it was like, she gave me like $3,000, about $3,000. I was like, so I told her the amount that she gave me. I said, is that correct? Right? She says, yeah. You have all of it? I was like, yeah, that's it. You see, count it in front of me. She says, yeah. That's the amount. I was like, I didn't want to look flabbergasted or like so surprised. Yeah, that's the amount. So I was surprised. I didn't know that she was renting. That was the rent cost for the section that she was renting in. I didn't know. So when my family member came back, I mean, I collected all the rent and things like that. And it was just a lot of money. Like the for one room, for 2 bedroom, it was so much money. So when my family member came back, I said, oh my gosh, these people are paying a lot of money to live here. And you know, I just couldn't imagine that you're paying $3,000 for a small place like that to live in. You know, so it's like people who do not know things, they say things, but you need to know stuff before you talk about stuff. And I have many friends who live there. I have another friend who lived there. I go visit her all the time, and she's living in a tiny room, okay? In a tiny room that she's living in. And she's paying like $500 no, she's paying like $400 a week. 1 week, she's paying $400. Can you imagine? 1 week for $400. So she's paying $1,600 a month for a room. So, like, I don't understand what the fuss is about. Like, it's crazy. Why would you want to spend your money like that? I even have friends who are renting together. They're renting a room together. It's a big room where they can have, they separate, sections and stuff like that. But the rent it's like a lot of money. So it's like, I don't understand what's the fuss about, because you're living in the States and it's so hard to pay the rent. It's so hard to keep afloat and everything. Why would you want to suffer like that? Why would you want to suffer? Why wouldn't you want to go home to your family members, live on your family land or something like that and enjoy your life? I don't understand. What I want to say is, it's like when you live in the States, you have to pay so much rent. If you don't have work, like you lose your job or something, like you get kicked out. Listen, I think sometimes when you look at news, you're sold like a dream, the American dream, which is not true. The people that I know who are my family members who are working and have good jobs in the US, they've been in the US for about 30 to 40 years. And they are citizens of the country, and they've been there so long. They either working with the government, they're working with the sewage system, the sewage. They're working with the, how do you call that? Like, there's a name for it. You know what I'm talking about? They do the sewage and stuff, making the manholes and all that kind of stuff. They work with that. Some of them work in the gold industry, right? And so when they work in like trucking, like different things, but they've been there long and they're like grandfathered into those stuff. So, they went to school, and some of them, they also get good job based on experience because they were there for a long time. So they just get promoted and they get certain position, right? And listen, America is racist. America have all kind of problems. But if you were in America before, things was a little bit better than now. So they're kind of grandfathered into those jobs, nurses and so it's like they've been there for a long time. So they have good jobs. So they're making good money, right? But people who are coming now in this new system that we have, it is so difficult. Most people I know, they work in restaurants, they work in McDonald's, they work in like nursing homes. There's a few people I know who works like in teaching jobs and stuff like that. But it's not a lot of pay they're getting, okay? So the fact of the matter is, like, our people are now working in like jobs where they're making a lot of money. But the money that they're making is going for rent because everything there is expensive. Like, rent is so expensive. And like, I have family members on who live more like a little bit west, on the western side, and they're a little bit better because they have their houses and it's more rural, so they can grow a garden, and in some areas things are much cheaper than the other. So if you're living in that end, it's easier for you. You can grow a garden, you can do certain stuff. But if you live in the city, like if you're living in New York City and stuff like that, living in Michigan, in those kind of city areas, like especially in New York City, right? So you're not growing anything. There's nothing to grow. You could put some stuff on your balcony or something, but there's nothing to grow. There's no land there to say you have a big backyard or something and you're gonna grow stuff. That, like, no, that's not happening, right? So it's a tough life. It's very, very tough. And I have people who work like in the railway station and all those kind of stuff there, right? So these kind of jobs are good jobs where you're gonna get good enough money. And if you had your place for a long time, or if you have a house, it's gonna be, much better for you. Guys, thumbs up the video. Thanks for joining me. I really appreciate all of you in the live. Please thumbs up the video. Thank you so much. Yeah, so that's it. That's what it is. So the fact of the matter is, a lot of people go to the United States and they think it's the American dream. Yes, it's the American dream. Yes, it's gonna be beautiful. I'm gonna make money. But then they get a culture shock when they're faced with all the challenges and the difficulties and the racism on the inequality and all the stuff that is happening there. Hi, Kevin. So all that kind of stuff, they're kind of struck because what they was sold on the TV it's not for real. It's a really a fakeness, you know. I was in the States the other day. Me and my family, we were in Florida, and we decided to stop in the US. We decided to stop in New York City to visit some family members there and to also do some shopping. And I wanted to go to the bathroom. Me and my daughter, I wanted to go to the bathroom. And there was the street that we were shopping on. We were looking for a McDonald's, but there was no McDonald's on that street. So we were buying some how you call that? Um like the oh my goodness. It's like the lining that you put on like your clothes. Oh, there's a name like trim. Yeah, that's the name. So we are buying trim and some fabric and threads and stuff in a store. And that store had a bathroom. Okay. So while I was, the girl was asking me what I want, and they were cutting the cloth for me and cutting the trim. I asked the man, because he was the manager. The girl told me he was the manager, because I went to him and asked him, can I get a wholesale price, because I was buying a lot of trims. And yeah, he came to me and said, okay, he's gonna give me a whatever, a certain price. And I asked him, I said, can me and my daughter use the bathroom? And he said, we ain't have no bathroom. I said, what do you mean? The bathroom is right there. Why can't we not use the bathroom? Can I go to the bathroom? And he said, no, you cannot use our bathroom. So I said, but why? Why can't we use the bathroom? We're buying stuff from you. So why can't we use the bathroom? And then the girl who was in the store, she was making sign for me and telling me, she's kind of making up a face and stuff like that and thing like that. He says, no. So then my husband went to him and said, we're on vacation and we're from Canada, and we just kind of drive in here and we're looking for McDonald's. And says, and he basically said, I don't care where you're from, you cannot use our bathroom. That's basically so rude, so whatever. Anyways, I was so pissed off. My husband, we were upset and we didn't want to buy this stuff anymore, but the girl had already ring up all the stuff. And then he went to sit on the side, like in the back area with it up. Like, it's a huge place. He went in the back, walk away. And then the girl who was cashing, she's a black girl. And she said, oh, guys, I'm really sorry. I apologize. But that's how it is here in the US. They don't let people use the bathroom. You have to find a McDonald's. And, she was giving us a whole story. And I thought that was so racist, And she says, yeah, that's what they do. And yeah, and she was just giving us a whole story about why we can't use the bathroom. And so then she says, oh, you know what? You guys wouldn't want to even use the bathroom because the bathroom is nasty and there's rats behind up there. That's what she was saying. But I can see like she was really apologizing. She was like feeling so bad and whatever. And she says, yeah, I know this place is very, very racist, guys. I'm sorry, But yeah, that's that's what it is. And I was kind of shocked because I was like, here in Canada, we have all kind of bathroom. You go to the grocery store, you can use the bathroom. You go you can use the bathroom. There's no problem. You go to a gas station. And the next thing again, we bought gas in a gas station and we went to use the bathroom and we could not use the bathroom. They said, no, you're not allowed to use the bathroom. You have to go find somewhere else to pee. And I just find, whoa, that was just like crazy. We're buying gas from you and we couldn't even use the bathroom. So these are some things that they have in US that is so like crazy, So people, they don't know stuff because they have not been there. And the people who are there, who have experienced the stuff, they can tell you. They can tell you what happened. I was so shocked when I heard and this guy is the guy who told us that he's the owner of the store. He's the owner of the manager of the store, and he's a palm colored guy. Okay, and I was just so surprised. And then when we went to the gas station, and we were told that too, I was like, what? So now, whenever we go to the US, we don't ask to use the bathroom. We go to a restaurant and buy a restaurant with a bathroom where you can use the bathroom. So for example, if we want to eat like Applebee's or something like that, we go there, we might buy something, and then they can use the bathroom there, because this bathroom, you can use it once you are, you can buy food there, you can use the bathroom. So it's just, it's not, and listen, if you want to go to the US and you want to make your money, great, But if you want to think of like, this is the American dream, no, it is not the American dream. But it's a place where you can make money if you're smart. You can live a life and you can just kind of go along, with whatever the system is going. But don't expect to be accepted. Don't accept to be part of them, because honestly, you're really not part of them. It's a lie. It's a illusion. You said you're equal, but you're not equal. You don't want somebody to use your bathroom. You don't want somebody to, you know, it's just so crazy. It's like when I go to the US, they said, oh, you don't go in that area. Don't pass there late at night. Whatever they're saying, it's true. It's not a lie. So, anyways, but the deportation that Trump is making, and black people are all upset about it. Listen, this is not your land, number one. All right? You are dragged there in slavery. You are forced to work and build all that stuff there by force. You are kidnapped. Okay. And that's why we have to realize that. Okay. We have to realize this thing and take it deep down into our soul and our heart. You don't have to be thinking about this thing all day long to make you angry, because the scripture says that the righteous man is angry when he sees unrighteousness, right? Oh, I shouldn't say any scripture because my head is not covered. You know, so it's just like people get angry when you think about all that stuff. Yes, Kevin, we were buying stuff, but yeah, this is not the first time that happened to us, like we said. So it's not a surprise. There's nothing you can do. It's their bathroom. They said no, it's no. Plus we were buying stuff. Anyways, we still bought the stuff, and but I never went back there and buy anything again because they're terrible, right? But the point about the matter is that people see something and they want it, and sometimes it comes at a cost. And is it really worth it? I think not. You know, so you got there by slavery. They made you work. You didn't get anything. You were promised a mule and land. You didn't get any of that. But you there still suffering. And it's true. You are suffering in the US. It's not an easy life. So if you come from the Caribbean, you come from Haiti, you come from whichever country you come from, and you went to US, right? So I'm going to talk about different people in the US, different set of black people, how they got there in the US. So most people that are there in the US, most of them are, like, let's say about 50 to 60% of them. I didn't know the law, but I guess after you buy the stuff, they can't even stop you from using it. Well, yeah, I did buy the stuff. They said no, so we couldn't use the bathroom. He said no, so yeah. Like I said, the girl was apologizing to us, but it's not her bathroom. If it was the girl, the black girl, she would have definitely make us use the bathroom, but he's the boss of the store. That's his store, so she can't go against him. And I noticed something else, because we went to another store, and there was another girl who was, we walked into the store to buy stuff, and then she started asking us, oh, can I help you? Can I help you? And we says, oh, it's okay. We don't need any help. Yeah. And she says, please don't tell me you don't need any help, because you know the owner of the store is up there, and we're supposed to follow you and ask if you want help and help you. If we don't, he's gonna yell at us after. And I was like, huh? Really? She says, yeah, please don't tell me you don't need any help. Even if you're pretending, just pretend. But let me just walk and just show you stuff and stuff. I said to her while she was trying to help me, I said, is that how you guys live here? And she said, you don't understand the half of it. We have no choice. We need the job. We need the money. We have to pay our rent. And this is the stuff that we have to put up with, you know. And this the owner of the store, he was sitting up there because the store has like a counter. He was up there, and those girls were like down because you have a high counter. And then the store, the girls are walking around the store. And every time somebody come into the store, they're asking, can I help you? Is there anything? And then you try to take a skirt, or you try to, oh, I'll take it down for you. I'll take it down for you. Don't take it down. I'll take it down for you. And it's just like they're just slaves working for these people. And I couldn't understand. I said, and the girl was asking me like, where are you guys from? I said, well, we from Canada. This is not the first time we've been here. We've been here. We come here all the time. But I mean, we're just in that specific area shopping. And she was like, yeah. I said, that's how they treat you guys here. And she's like, yeah, that's the norm here. All of us girls who's walking in the store, that's how they do it. We just have to follow the customer around. And you know, she's like, especially our people, when they come inside, they think that you guys are gonna steal stuff, and if anything goes missing, they take it out for a pay. I was like, what? She says, yeah, they take it out for a pay. So you know, we gotta be careful. We can't lose our money. Anyways, these are the kind of stuff that we experience when we go there. You know, it's like being pulled over by the cop. We're pulled over by the cops. You know, it's like I can tell you many stories here. But this is what happened. This is what happened. We're driving down to Florida. We're not without breaking any law. We're not driving fast. We're just taking the scenery and filming, whatever. Then the cop pulled us over. It was a woman cop. She pulled us over and she's like, oh, I saw you went up some strange hill And we said, what strange hill? We're just taking a country road. She's asked us why we passing in this country road. And I'm like, here is our map. We have a map in front of us, and we're on vacation and we're traveling, and we want to see different parts of America. So we're not taking the regular routes. We're taking different routes that we want to, that we want to like explore. And she had a problem with that. And she says, I noticed when you went up the hill, you were going a little bit fast. And she started making all kind of stories, and she gave us a ticket, and she's, like for no reason whatsoever. And she said, oh, you're not American, because she saw our license plate. And we were like sitting there for like 45 minutes, and she was checking stuff, asking us all kind of questions, blah, blah, blah. And honestly, there was no reason to give us a ticket, because we were in the countryside. The place was very hilly. You keep going up a hill, going down a hill. There's no way you can speed. If you people who are drivers, you know what I'm talking about. Like hilly area, you can't speed up. There's no way you can speed when the terrain is up and down, up and down. You gotta kind of go at one slow pace, and then because you're gonna cause yourself an accident, because the terrain goes up, then it goes down, then it swings around. It's very dangerous to drive fast if you're gonna do that. Plus, we just sightseeing. We just we bought this big map. We're just watching. We see places. We stop in nature area, whatever. She stopped us for no reason, asking us all kind of questions. When you going, whatever. When you went up the hill, you are speeding. Who speeds going up a hill? Like, I don't understand. Anyways, these are the kind of things that happen in America. So, you've been deported to your country. You come from Jamaica. You come from Grenada. You come from St. Lucia. You come from St. Kitts and Nevis. It's all our sister islands. So Trinidad, beautiful place. I've been there. Carriacou, I've been there. We take boats from one place to the other. So it's like living in the Caribbean. It's like living a life of luxury. I don't care what anybody say. You're living in the Caribbean. It's a life of luxury. You get up in the morning, it's sunshine. And if there's sunshine, there's no sunshine, there's rain, but there's more sunshine than rain. There's fruits everywhere. If somebody has an apple tree, you go ask them for some apple, they would not say no. Somebody go to the garden, they get yam, they will give you one. They give you a potato. If somebody cut the banana down, they say, oh, come for 2 bunches. You can never say that you live in the Caribbean and you are hungry. Plus, most of the people in the Caribbean, they're living on their family land. Not everybody, but most people live on their family land. Plus, there's no winter in the Caribbean. So you only have 2 seasons, rainy season and dry season. So you don't have to worry about winter. So you have to put on coat. You don't have to be freezing cold. None of that. And most of the people, they're not paying rent because they're on their family ancestral land. So you have your house and you're just living in there. You can build a shack if you want with some galvanized and some board or some tops or whatever, and you're dry inside there and you're living inside it. You don't even have to worry. Outside, you have land, and people plant pigeon peas. They plant dashing. They plant a banana. Every place you pass in the Caribbean, people are planting something. There's something in a pot. There's something. They have chives and onions and thyme. Everybody has a little raised thing, and they have that inside. So you can't do that in America. So why you want to stay in America and suffer for? Why? I don't understand. You can go sit in the sunshine. You can go to the river and catch fish. You can go to the sea and catch fish. These things are free. You don't have no license to say that when you're back home, they're giving you a license. Here in Canada, for you to go fishing in some place, you have to get license. If you get caught, you're gonna get a fee. Just to go fishing. You have to get fishing license. There's so much things that you have to pay for here. You're in the Caribbean, you don't have to pay for no fishing license. You just take your net, go throw it, and you catch fish. Go in the river. There's so much rivers everywhere. You go catch fish. You go, people eat crayfish. We don't need that stuff, but they're conch shell. There's conch. There are all kind of different things that are in the rivers and in the sea. There's titiri that comes up, it's like a small fish. People go catch them. There's so much things available for you in the Caribbean. There's callaloo, which grows wild. You can go pick that. You can go into the hills and get wild yams. There's like 5, 6 different wild yams that you can go dig at certain times. Like, you're living in paradise in the Caribbean. Why you want to leave this paradise and go suffer yourself in US for? I don't understand. Why? So why are you crying? When they send you back, when they deport you back to your country, go back to your country and build your country up. You're educated. Listen, most of the people that leave the Caribbean are educated people, and they've gone to the US for better life. And even the education that they have from the Caribbean, they're not even working in that field. Take your education and use it in your own country. Help build roads. Educate your children and the people that are around you. Come up with new technology, agriculture. Work with other people of similar ethnicity, or people who are not even your ethnicity but who are going to work together for a common goal so everybody can benefit of whatever you're doing. That's what we need to do as a people. We need to stop complaining, stop moaning and saying, oh, Trump sent us back to a country, Trump doing this and Trump doing that. Trump is just being Trump. He's just doing whatever Trump does, you know? So, and it's like, honestly, I think most of us, if we were in our country, would have been 100 times better. Because we're living in Canada. Every month you have to pay your mortgage. If you do not pay that mortgage, the bank is going to come and say, hello, knock, knock, knock. Can you please leave my house? They're going to kick you out of the house and you have to find a new home to stay. You and your family. If you're back in your country, you're on your family land, nobody's kicking you out. Nobody's saying, oh, knock, knock, knock. No bank is coming to kick you out. This is your family ancestral land. Nobody can come and do that. It belongs to you. You pass down from generation to generation. You understand? That is how it works. If you're back home in your country, and even if you renting a place from somebody and people try to come and kick you and your child out, people are not going to stand there and say, come on now, you can't kick the people out. You can, people are going to help and can even give you, even if the rent is $200, everybody's going to come together and try to help you out. This is not happening here. You don't even know your neighbor who living next door. You don't even know what's their name. Everybody's on like a treadmill, running 24/7. You don't know your neighbor. You don't know anything. Living in the Caribbean, it's like living in a community. You know your neighbor. You know if a new person comes into your neighborhood. If you're a single mother, you can get somebody to watch your kid for you. You can leave your children with your auntie. You can live with your cousin. You can leave them with your neighbor. That's not happening here. Everywhere in the United States, you have to pay for health. You have to pay for daycare. You in Canada, you have to pay for daycare. You can't say, okay, neighbor, can you watch my kid? That's not happening here. By the time you come back, social services is going to take your child. In the Caribbean, you can say, listen, my kids are at home, keep an eye on them for me or something like that. Or my kids are playing in the yard, I'm going to the store, I'll be back. Somebody's going to keep an eye on your kid for you. You understand? There is community. But when you live in the United States, there is no community system for you Black people. And we have to realize that as a people. And we have to come together as a people to build our nation and build our own people up so we can rise up and do things for ourselves. Like when you look at the news, you see in South Africa, there's these two Africana, and there's another one, Jotstenberg. I think it's Jotstenberg. That's like another section of Africana, because they do speak Africana too. But they're living together. Palm-colored people all living together. They have their own community, their own water, their own healthcare system. The Africana have their own currency. The other one doesn't have their own currency. They're still using the South African currency, the rand. But it's like, look, they're in their community. Africana's community have 3,000 people. The other community, I think they have 1,300 or 1,300 people. But they are in their community and they're building together. They're not depend on the South African system to give them water and food. They're making these things in their own community. They're looking after their own. They have their own healthcare systems. They have their own water system. They have their own solar panel. They provide jobs. They have that little factory that they make. They do belts and all this kind of stuff, and they import it. They have their fields that they import corn and wheat and different things to the rest other parts in South Africa. It's like we have to stop complaining and like take a different mindset. And another thing is, in life, everything happens for a reason. So if you're in the US for 10 years and then they deport you back, there's a reason for it. It's not just they just deport you. First of all, there's a God above, and he is the one who controls everything on this earth. People, a lot of people don't believe in God. You can't tell people what to do, but whatever, every time I read my Bible, it says that he makes the rain falls on the just and the unjust, right? So because you're a just person and I may not be a just person, rain gonna fall on my crop is gonna grow too. Both of us crops are gonna grow. But it doesn't mean to say that I'm gonna go to the kingdom. You're gonna go to the kingdom. I am not. You understand? So in life, when things happen to you, there is a reason for it. There's a reason for you being deported. Go home, build your economy, settle your mind, all the stresses that you're going through. Maybe the Most High wants to send you back home so you can repent, so that you can start living the life that He wants you to live. Maybe the Most High send you back home because He wants you to start something for Him. He wants to set your life in the right place. See, sometimes we think that, oh, money, materialistic thing, houses, this is everything. No, this is not everything. In Ecclesiastes, says that we are here for one purpose, and that is to serve the Most High. And a lot of us, we don't get that. So we may be going around, doing all kind of stuff, but when the Most High is ready for us, He says, bam, that's it. Today is your last day. Last day in America. You're going home today. You're going to lose everything that you have because I'm tired speaking to you and you're not listening to me, but I'm the big boss and I'm taking control today. There you go. Everything is over. It's done. And it's like some people there, they get sick, and they're like, oh, I was a good person. I've been exercising. I've been doing da. But it's not about that. There's a deeper spiritual meaning, deep down, even if you don't want to accept it. Okay? And when it's your time, it's going to happen. Whether you're going to die, whether you're going to be deported, whether somebody's going to take you out, this is what's going to happen. And there's nothing any of us can do. So I think the best thing is when you're being deported, say, you know what? It's uncomfortable. Yeah. But don't be crying over it. Go home and start building. Go home and start rising up yourself. Get yourself to a higher heights. I see this guy, a couple of guys and families went back to their country from, different countries. And they did videos and they were saying, oh my goodness, they didn't realize how they were suffering in America. They came back with nothing. They were in America. They had, they had the apartment. They had, all their luxuries and whatever. And then they were deported. And they came back basically with nothing much, And now they go back and they're in their family's house. They're on their land, their ancestral land. They get up in the morning, nice weather. They're eating. And they were saying, oh my gosh, I didn't realize what kind of stress my life was. So sometimes we think that, oh, it's just normal, all the things that we're doing here. We just getting up every morning, the rat race. Oh, take the bus, drive your car, put gas in, next. Somebody call you, can you come and have a little coffee with me? Oh, girl, I can't come. I have to work until 9 today. Oh, I'm taking a second shift. The car payment, the this, the that. The hydro come, it's like $400. Like you're just living in this North America here just to pay bill and rent. That's all you're living for. So when I was watching the videos, they were saying like, whoa, it was kind of surprising. They got up the morning and they make food outside on the fire. And they were like, oh, we don't have to go to work. Oh, and there was mangoes. Oh, let's go pick some mangoes. Oh, there are fruits out there. They were just like, oh, they just went to gather fruit. They went for a walk. They did stuff. They was like, oh my gosh, they were eating their food and they're like, all that food that we just ate, we didn't even go to the store to buy it. We just went to the land and pick it. You understand? So sometimes the Most High need to drag you by your bootstrap and says, I'm picking you up and putting you over there because you don't know what is good for you. And a lot of us, sadly, we don't know what is good for us. We don't. So deportation, I'm not saying anything about it. Like, I'm not moaning. I'm not groaning about it. What I will say is, if you want to go in a country, apply for the proper status. Get your working permit, get your visa, get your permanent residency, get your green card, get your citizenship, whatever it is. Don't go to another man's country and you don't get your visa, your PR card, your green card, your citizenship. Then you want to complain. Stop that. Just, if you decide to go to another man's country and you want to be sneaky, you want to walk under the table, be smart. Be smart. Use wisdom. Work for the time that you're gone there, save up your money and go back home to your country, build a house, stabilize yourself, do something positive so you have a good outcome. I have a family member. She travels from my country. She goes to the US. She walks with her family. And then she goes back to her country. Before she leaves, she packs 6, 7 barrels. She posts it. Then she go home. She open a shop. She build herself a nice house, and she has a shop. Every 6 months, because she has a multiple indefinite visa. Every 6 months, she save up money. When she sells her stuff, she goes back to the US. She gets a little job. She works. She stay for a month. Sometimes she stay for 2 months, and that's what she does. But she goes there on her visa. She doesn't let her time up. She get little under the table jobs, and she just packs her barrel and she does her stuff. She sends her kids to school, and she's a single mom. That's what she does. She has a shop. When she's not there, her older daughter takes over the shop, and she has a very nice house. And that woman, she was living in a small house, like a 1 room house with her kids, but she have some sense, you know. So I'm telling you all these things in the video so you can learn some sense. If you go and apply for your visa, you want to travel to the land that you think is the milk and honey. When you go over there, work. What are you going to work under the table? Or what are you going to work with a work permit or whatever? Work, save your money, and go back home to your country. I'm not advising anybody to send money for anybody back home to keep for you. Keep your money. Get some kind of safe and put it under your bed somewhere so it's going to be safe, you know. When you go to the US, you know, find some family member, find some friend that you can get along with. Go there while you're working, give the people $150, $200 to help them pay for stuff. Bring something in the house, because a lot of us as people, you know, we have problems of our own too. Somebody might say, okay, you know, friend, come and stay by me, you know, and then you go to the people's house, you're eating all their food. You don't want to pay rent. You're acting lazy. You're not washing dishes. You're not even helping somebody wash their clothes. This is the thing that causes problem among ourselves, because there's no unity. No unity. We have to be more unified among ourselves. If you're going to go to your friend's house and you're living at the friend's house, wash some dishes, mop the floor, clean the house, you know, do something. Give them some money to help them pay rent because you're living there. You understand? Don't be like a freeloader. Oh, I'm just there to make my money and go back to my country. Like, no, don't do that, because next time you want to come, the person's not going to take you in. You have to bring that unification with you and work with the other person while you're there, and be a smart person. You go to the USA, like I said, you work, you save your money, you go home, you start putting on some structure. If you don't have family ancestral land, you buy some land. You know, you buy some land. Next time you go again, 6 months later, you go, save money, you go. Next time you continue building the house. Next time you go, you know, you send some barrels down. You have to use sense, like I told you. One of my family members, that's what she does. She's a single parent with 7 children. And that's what she does. She has a shop now. She has a very nice house. And she keep coming to the US every 6 months so her visa wouldn't be expired and stuff like that. And that's what she does. But she's not staying in the US. She's not overstaying her time. She's not there struggling, renting a room for $400 a week or $1,800 a month. She's not doing that kind of stuff, because she has sense and she is thinking. Listen, the Caribbean is Eden. Okay, it's the Garden of Eden, I'm telling you. Anybody who tells you that you are in the Caribbean and giving you tricks and tell you, oh, go to the West, go to Canada, don't listen to them. Okay, come for a visit, go home. Go back and get yourself stable, get yourself proper. When SHI hit the fan, you have somewhere to go. A lot of these people, SHI has hit the fan and they have nowhere to go when they go back home. Isn't that something? Isn't that something? Be wise, people. You're going to go to the US, get some sort of residency, get some kind of status. You cannot be in a man's country without status. When he kicks you out now, why are you crying? Like, stop crying. Just take your judgment. Just take your thing and go. All right? Another thing I want to talk about is, now we understand that there's wars and there's, you know, farming, and, you know, there's refugee people who come to the US. Now, if they've been deported out of the US, I think that's kind of sad, because then if they're going to go back in a war zone, or if they're going to go back in an area where they've been persecuted for whatever it is, it's sad. This is a different story. So, but again, that's Trump country. He can choose what he wants in his country. If he takes refugee in, then he wants to kick them out. Nobody can stop him. It's the same thing here in Canada. If Canada take refugee, who's gonna stop? And they want to kick them out. Nobody can stop them. They can say they don't have the space, it's draining the economy, whatever. They can say all that kind of stuff. So it's sad, but there's nothing another person can do about it. You know, this is how like the ball keep rolling in life. Life is not easy. It's difficult. So anybody out there who looking for easy life and who's lamenting on stuff, like you're gonna lament for a long time, because you just gotta keep that ball rolling. Keep the ball rolling. Something happened to you, move on to the next. Plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D, plan E, plan F. Just keep going. You know what I mean? Like, stop being stressed. They tell you have to be deported. Bye, America. Take your losses and leave. You might have some struggles when you get back to where they send you, but just take it as a stride. When life gives you lemons, just make lemonade. When you start complaining and start stressing yourself, your brain cannot think. And if your brain cannot think, then you cannot see the future. Because when our mind and our brain is clear, we can make good decisions. We can say, you know, man, that wasn't the situation that I wanted to be in. But you know what? My mind is clear. You know, my thinking is right. You're going to see something. Oh, maybe I can go here. Maybe I can do that. Maybe I can do this. But if you're stressing yourself, if you're so distraught, blaming Trump, blaming this person, blaming that person, like, you're not going to find any solution within yourself to do, because your mind is just thinking on blame, 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 anger, anger, anger. And that's not helping you at all. It's not changing your situation. It's not showing you how to get out of your situation. So we have to think on that line instead of like putting all our anger on a person, you know? Like, we have to also realize that these places doesn't belong to us. It doesn't belong to us. Like, go home to Africa. You're better there. That's where you came from. A lot of us, we don't want to accept that we come from Africa, come from the continent of Africa, Africa is a huge continent with 54 or 56 countries on it. Okay? You might come from Egypt, you may come from Somalia, you may come from Congo. Like, you come from there. That's where you originally came from. Some of us, we born to the slave, we born to our slave ancestors, and we don't know anything except living in America or except living in Canada, because from generation and generation and generations, that's where we are. So we don't know anything about Africa. We don't know anything about the Caribbean, right? So I understand some of you who are saying, well, America is my country because that's where I was born. I don't know anything about Africa. I don't know anything about the Caribbean. Never been there. All my life I'm living in Canada. All my life I've been in America. You know what I'm saying? But this is not your originality. This is not where you came from, right? This is not where your heart beat. This is not where your spirit is. This is not where the spirits of your ancestors are. And this is not where your spirit belong also, okay? So accept who you are as a people. Accept who you are as an individual. And when we stop denying ourselves, when we stop denying our heritage, when we stop denying who we are as a people, as a nation, as an individual, then change is going to come. Because the Most High is like a repentance. It's like you're repenting. You know, I'm sorry, I didn't accept that I was a black woman. I was trying to be an Indian woman when I was a black woman. You know, you're saying that to yourself. I'm not black, you know. I'm half Portuguese. I'm Portuguese. Oh, you know, I'm not black. I'm Russian. And look, you're a black person, you know, but you can't accept that stuff. And until you accept that stuff, you're not going to see change. Change is not going to happen. So if you are born in America and you are deported to another country where you're not born in and you're complaining about it, I don't know what to tell you. And if you didn't do anything wrong, it's sad. But if you are doing some kind of crime or whatever, and they say, you know what, since you're born here, but we're also deporting your family because they're from Jamaica or they're from another country, St. Lucia, Barbados, whatever, we send you with them, then you're mad. Like, stop that. Okay, go with your family and build over there. All right, get your life together, enjoy the sunshine, go to the beach and enjoy yourself. Okay, go catch some fish, go open a fish store over there, right? And if you're from Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, Grenada, Carriacou, wherever you come from, and they send you back to your country, stop the moping and the groaning. Go to your country and do something. Do something for your people. Use the education that you have and rise up your people. Use the abilities that you have and build something great for the next generation, so the next generation has something to fall back on. Because when you look at us as a nation of Black people, most of our families, we don't have anything to leave for our children. Not even a house, not even $10,000, not even 10 cents, right? I don't know if you guys know the system about how the housing system works here. If you have a house and you die, you can't even say, okay, the house is going to go to my son. You have to go through all kind of hoops and loops just to leave the property for your children and stuff like that. It's you know, it's so like crazy. But if you're in the Caribbean, if you're in Africa, you know, you can just say that the property goes to my son. The property goes to the next generation, to the first son, to the first daughter, what it is. You just write up something. That's it. You know, you don't have to go through all this hoops on government and this and that and that and that. A simple will just do it. So it's like, it's like we have been sold an American dream. We have been sold a westernized dream. And yeah, some of you, you know, the dream is not real. You know, it's a falsehood, but because of your own greed, because of your own selfish pride, you wouldn't like accept it. But I think just accept the thing as it is. This is not your place. And if you are deported, just go home and build and just stop the complaining, because your people need you to build. When you're there working in McDonald's, you're there cleaning the street, you're there doing something and you're paying somebody else's rent, you're not helping your people, you're not building nothing. You're giving money to a nation who doesn't even regard you as 100% human. Okay? So go home to your country and be among your people who considered you equal to them. All right? So that's the video today. I hope the video was helpful. Thanks to everybody who come into the chat. I really appreciate you guys. So yeah, that's basically it. So you guys take care, and I will see you in the next live. I'm trying to do a live for you guys every single day like before. Now I'm settled in my work and have everything under control. And I've paced myself out, paced my time and everything like that. And I can really come back and do some videos, and I can do some live in the evening at that time. All right. So ciao, ciao, guys. Stay blessed, stay beautiful, and stay positive. Ciao, ciao. Oops. And do you have any questions? If I close, there's 5 people in the live. Do you have any question you want to ask? I don't like to close up the live when there's 2 people in the live. Do you have any questions you want to ask or anything? I'll give you 2 minutes to ask your questions or stuff. Let me read what's there. But you said you were buying from the shop and they should have let you use the bathroom. And Anderson, I don't know what they're saying. Here. I don't know the law. Oh, I talked about it. I don't know the law, but I guess if I stuff they can also. Yeah. Listen, in the US, it's a law unto himself. They're a law unto themselves. They don't they just don't listen to anybody except themselves. So to protect yourself, to protect your own, how should I say, to protect your own self, I think sometimes you just have to leave things alone and let people be, because not everything is worth fighting for. So in the case of the bathroom here, like you were saying, Kevin, yeah, we decided to leave it alone, but we know that we'll never spend our dollar, not $1 there, ever again. All right, guys, bye. I'll see you in the next one. Like the video. Don't forget to like the video.